We are talking Dark Matter Season 2, Episode 5. We voted not to space you. We're so excited. We got lots to talk about. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the after show for Dark Matter here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. Subscribe there as well. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me live during the show at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel. I won't actually see those tweets, but feel free to do it. I've also got Tauri J here.
Hey guys, Tauri J Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Tauri J. It's TauriJay.
And you're live in the chat.
Heck yeah.
So join us in the chat. And Andrew Mena is here.
Hey guys, I'm here. ANDREWMENA. It's probably right down there, but if it's not, now you know how to spell.
Yay! It's
for the iTunes audience.
Yeah, for the audio
Yeah.
people.
Oh.
Good job.
Hey, audio guys.
Calm down. All
Love
right. We are talking about we voted not to space you, which was a great line, especially because there were like threats of spacing people throughout the episode.
Oh yeah.
I want to start with my favorite part of the episode. Actually, looking at the whole thing, I go, well, this was my favorite part. But I want to start with the android, who we met her alter ego of, Kiva Aarons.
Eva Aaron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call her, Royd Becca.
Why?
All right, so we have the red android who's ready, and then we have the regular android who's roidy, and then now she has more of a human persona, so she's Royd Becca.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Becca. Yeah, great. Do you think that she chose that name for herself?
Kiva?
Kiva.
No, I think they needed fake papers, and they went with, here's a name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So is Kiva the Dark Matter universe is like Jessica? Is it really common, you think?
I don't know.
There's like 10 Kivas in my class.
Well, I get upset because there's a name Akiva, which I'm very familiar with. I know a bunch of Akivas.
Right.
So, like, Kiva, it's like, well, how do we make Akiva a girl's name? Kiva. Okay.
Akiva is a boy's name?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, I would have assumed the Latin A is usually feminine thing at the end of a name.
It's a Hebrew name.
Oh,
Anyway.
see, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't.
Good job.
Hebrew
But-
doesn't come from Latin? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
No. So, anywho, I want to just talk about Zoe's performance because we see her every week as the android and she feels like a frickin' robot. And she does this amazing thing with her eyes that I know Melissa has talked about how she tries to do it. It's this great thing where her eyes don't look up or down, they just look exactly where they need to be. And we see her now as a person who is part android, and you still feel like she's not human. It's just an amazing performance.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's so textured and nuanced. I really enjoyed it
Yeah.
a lot. Oh man, she does so many things that are so fascinating. She's just goes for it. Just goes really hard for things. Specifically when she like whispers her little pleas to the cop. You're like, it was so flirty and sexual. You're like, yeah, I didn't realize you understood sexuality that quickly. You got there real fast.
Yeah.
Well, she took notes from last episode where,
True.
smooching leads to sexual interplay.
I was like, can you
Interplay.
finish that sentence? What does switching lead to? Teach us, O wise one.
Yes, I will tell you.
Yeah, no, her flirting was very like, I'm going for it.
It was so natural.
And,
Yeah. Well, subtle.
I mean, it's Zoe. She's,
Yeah.
whew. And then
Yes, she
I know. And then her fighting was so badass.
Yes, I wrote down that she grabbed Danny Bones by the shirt
Yeah.
and threw him by the shirt. First of all, that's a really strong shirt. But
Yeah.
second of all, he like flies across the room. The guy that she was flirting with at the bar just goes, "Whoa, like, dude, I'm gonna buy this girl a drink." Like, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
happy that character was there.
I just have to say that everyone in the chat right now is shipping 3 and Kiva.
Being Kiva.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
So
yes.
Malosi was 3va.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's real good.
Oh, I really like that actually.
Yeah, no, I absolutely ship it. So she says, would it kill you to give a girl a compliment, and then grabs his butt?
Yeah.
Which at that moment I saw in Three's eyes where he went, could I use her as a service bot? That was the thought that went on in his head. I saw it. I read it. That's what I read because she comes back and he says, nice work. See, I can compliment. Yeah,
He's trying.
he wants to use that service bot. He wants to see all the services she has.
I mean, she throws on that like leather jacket, and she's all like, "Hey, what's up? I'm the coolest person you've ever met now." Like
That moment where she walks up and her hair is all done, she's got that jacket, she's
Yeah.
like, check it out. That moment I went, all right, that's Zoe. Right there, that was Zoe.
Yeah, it was cool, and you've watched other shows with Zoe on it, so this was my first experience with her as that character.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so like, more of this, yes,
Yeah.
please.
The entire audience is now going, you haven't seen Lost Girl? What
know,
is
I haven't
wrong
yet.
with you?
I'll watch it, audience. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Guys, I got you. He's gonna sit down and watch Lost Girl. So the androids, her ways of getting arrested. The moment where she opens the door and then stands there with her arms, I was like, she's still an android there. And I was pointing out some things that you explained to me.
Well, yes. So we were talking about how like when we first meet her, she's very much a android pretending to be human.
Yeah.
But then like later she is a lot more human and a lot more relaxed. And I was saying that it was very much a active learning thing, and that she has all this knowledge and all this like schema of how human behavior is, and then now in practical application she's kind of adapting more.
Yeah. It's as though she's downloading the info, the like new tech is slowly changing everything, and her eyes relax and can look everywhere. It was a real like subtle and beautiful, amazing performance.
Absolutely.
And then the sword training, in addition to the fighting when she's playing with the swords, I was so hot. I'm not a big sword person, but I was like, yeah, no, I like that.
I feel like all the fight scenes in Four's room are just like secretly like really hot scenes, especially with like Nyx and him. And I want to, yeah. I'll just talk about it. It's just so hot.
What just happened in your head?
Started picturing
it. Yeah.
Shorted out.
I've been there.
Oh man.
It's like all those swords going on.
Nyx and Four fighting.
I also like in that scene the implication that she can actively learn, whereas like he's saying basically everything that she's ever going to do within her programming is the limit, but she's saying that with this new programming she gets basically AI that can create different neural pathways and things like that, which is a very human thing.
Yeah.
Which means that she could now grow exponentially.
Yeah, but it also, for anyone who's seen any movie with robots, tells you that we're all doomed.
Absolutely.
Right? She's about to Terminator and iRobot and Bicentennial Man. She's
Bicentennial Man proved.
gonna
Robots
kill
need
us
to be
all.
Gonna get a blood infusion.
Yeah, Wally, she's gonna kill us all,
She's
guys.
gonna. Absolutely. I was I was kind of afraid of the implications, basically, of she's really enjoying being more human and having when she talks to Four about the stuff that happens neurally, like you're saying, in her brain, and she enjoys it. It's basically enjoyment that she's talking about. Endorphins are released, more or less, like nanobot endorphins. So that is basically the corruption, like that you do things because they are enjoyable.
Right.
And it's so interesting. It's so cool.
It's so terrifying. And then the fact that we later find out from evil android, the red one, that she landed the ship and didn't go through the proper procedures.
Procedures, yeah.
I can't. I'm thinking about her with the swords.
We all are.
And she overloads the ship, and there's a programming flaw, and there's danger now to the ship and the crew.
Right.
I don't like it when the red android is correct. I don't like it when she's better than our Anne or Kiva.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say she's necessarily better than Rebecca. I'd say that she is
Committing to that.
definitely really into the logic.
Yeah.
And I liked, or I guess I understand where she's coming from in that Rebecca was very like off the cuff about things that were dangerous, whereas our regular Roidy would have been very much like, here are the probabilities of our success, and like giving a lot of, and so her being so laid back does pose a problem, but I feel like it will make her more personable with the rest of the crew.
I agree. I also fear that if we are stuck with Kiva, I'm gonna start missing Anne. I miss Anne already. I just seeing Zoe's face was so amazing, and so now seeing her all human. I don't know. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. I can't explain it.
Before we move on
Yes.
from the red point, I
Evil
think,
android.
evil android, evil red.
Melosi calls her Randroid.
Randroid. So before we move on from Randroid, I think there's this weird
Evil android.
evil Randroid. So there's this weird dynamic between evil Randroid and
Kiva.
and Kiva. And it seems almost like a mother-child relationship. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's so chiding and knowing and very like, well, I told you, and you should know. And why aren't you doing better?
Yeah.
And it's just this very, like, it seems a little more petty than an android should be. So I'm almost curious if there's any flaw within, like, the copy that was made.
Yeah.
If she's also going to spiral into something different and new.
I mean, I assume there was a flaw. I feel like there was a flaw with her as well. I could have sworn that was a thing, but maybe I'm making that up, and I just think she's flawed.
I think you just think she's flawed, but I could believe that she's flawed. I think, I mean, you know, if you make a copy of a copy and the copy has a flaw, it's
Right.
gonna have another flaw. So it makes
Tauri?
sense.
Is
I'm
this a
trying to
correction?
no.
Is this okay?
It's I'm trying to pronounce this thing, but I want to say it's Assy Queen Borhan says she's with you. She misses the blue bot,
Yeah.
blue Zobot, if you will.
So
Yeah,
And
Sobot.
Shaft Amasi says that she is still flawed. So
they're all flawed. All the androids are flawed.
well,
Bring back Victor.
That's the crux of, or that's like the whole idea of the show is that like we're dealing with all these flawed creatures.
Right.
That's true. All right, speaking of flawed creatures, let's talk about Jace Corso.
Jace Corso.
What a douchebag.
Oh man, he makes so many bad decisions all the time. Like, first of all, he has all of them in his sniper crosshairs and doesn't murder them all.
Right, misses all
He
of
misses
them.
all of them. He's a terrible soldier by all rights.
He's just not a good sniper.
He takes a long time to heal his wounds, to like patch himself up, and then just he's a terrible soldier. All right, guys, I'm gonna do some staples. I'm gonna sew this up. Oh crap! I just got kicked right in those staples.
Right in the stable.
Right in the staples. Yeah. Oh gosh.
He's not a soldier though. He's just a merc. He deals.
He's not even a merc.
He is though.
Yes, he's definitely like a bounty hunter.
Yeah, but he's like the worst. I think he's like not a merc. I feel like he's a I wanted
He's
a
like
criminal.
a guy that you hire.
Yeah.
He's a
for
coward,
jobs.
says someone
kind
on
of
the
like
chat.
a mercenary.
Yeah, kind
type
of like a
guy.
merc, but not a merc. Because I feel like a merc's got to have, like, Boone is a merc, right? He has the training, he has the... I feel like this is just a guy who had a hard life and was like, I'm going to be a criminal because everybody else is weak. When he gives that whole speech to Two about, like, how could you like Moss? He was this spoiled rich kid, and he got blood, and we're so much better. That was when I went, Jace Corso isn't a merc. He's just a whiny brat who's like, life is so hard, so I'm going to be a criminal. Mama.
Right.
Which, when she shot him in the head, I went, good, done, moving on.
10,000% agree. I know that's not how percentages work, but that's how I'm doing it.
Absolutely
I was
how
so
they work.
happy. I was like, do not let him live. These tactics he's using are all garbage. I don't care. Shoot him.
Yeah.
I was bummed in that.
Of course.
Well, okay. I felt like he had so much more information to give us.
Oh, yeah, for
Certainly.
sure.
I'm not arguing
And
that.
in this world, there's no way to like steal information from a body.
know
So
of.
Yeah, that we know
That
of.
we know of.
That
I
we-
mean, we can transfer people's brains into different copy bodies. Why can't we just scoop out his brain,
Also,
throw it in a computer?
Also, we have a key that'll take you into space times and pocket universes and Gallifrey and whatnot. Why can't we take his? I think you're wrong. I just don't think our crew has that
yeah,
tech.
I don't think we've been introduced to that yet.
But I think they
it's-
left the body and now
Gotta
they're
be a thing.
screwed.
Yeah, maybe.
just a couple things
Yes.
from the
More
chat.
Okay, not more corrections.
Not more corrections. They're talking about.
I'm on edge now for all the correct.
No, there
Actually,
are no
yeah.
corrections.
Okay.
Only clarifications.
Great.
But no, they're having a chat about the moment between Two and Corso.
Yeah.
And basically, they're wondering if when she shot him, did he see one or did she see one? And Melosi says, yeah, that was a very big part that affected her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like I feel like I wish we'd find out who actually hired him when we find out that Traubot is not responsible or whatever. But I also am more... I want this team to like do what they're doing, and I don't want to fight. I don't really care about the whole like there's a conspiracy and everyone, the government and like companies.
You don't? You're just like, whatever about the universe. Let's look at this one ship.
Yeah, because they're all so sexy and pretty.
You're not wrong about that.
I know.
But it all like feeds into it. We were talking about this when we were watching, and that like I think that the world building is really interesting in that they find ways to kind of just slip things in there that you didn't even really know was important.
Right.
Like every episode so far, we've gotten a little bit more information about this rebellion and this war that's going on behind the scenes through like these news reports. Like right before the like pertinent information, they'll be like, hey, you know, this colony has agreed not to work with this people, and this colony has agreed to be free. And so I feel like all this is going to start to come to a head, especially because our people are basically pawns in this war that's going on.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm just so confused.
I mean, I feel like...
If they're not all sleeping together, I'm real confused as to what's happening.
I feel like Rio makes it pretty clear in his little chat with Kirkin that we'll talk about more soon.
Yeah.
But he makes it really clear in this like little moment where he's like, corporations equals the Federation, or the Galactic Authority.
Yeah.
You kind of don't understand
Right.
that you are the problem.
Yeah. So we'll get into that in a second. Is there anything else we want to say about Jace Corso? Now that we've lost both Moss and Corso, he's just gone. That face is no longer happening.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yes.
I just want to say how terrible Jace is. Jace, you're terrible.
Like at shooting?
You just at everything, yeah.
And like at digging?
And, like-
here's the light. I'm done. No, you're not.
Yeah.
There's the rest of the pile.
And you already detonated your bomb before you got out of this
Yeah.
place, you idiot. You stupid, stupid idiot. Like, what are you doing? You know nothing about...
Yeah, at least one would have been better at
One
all
would have been
of
so
that.
much better at that. And yeah, I miss one. I love one. I mourn one. And I hope, against hope, that there's a way that one can come back in some manner.
Yeah. Aylin Mendoza says he's a coward. Shaft Almase says he's half stormtrooper.
Awesome.
That's why. That's why he can't hit a thing.
All right, before we talk about Chief Inspector Kirkin of the Galactic Authority, I want to take a moment to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much to everybody who was live in the chat. We love having you here. I love having Tauri read out your thoughts because it's really fun for me to have him try to say all of your names.
Oh, yes. I am the Zach of names.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. We ask you to go to iTunes if you're listening on audio. Thanks. On iTunes, subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. But also, leave us a rating and a review. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. The other stars, they do not work. Yes. Awesome. We did it. Finally. Sorry, I'm so excited about that. Okay,
End of
and
episode.
we will read your comments live on the air. That's what we
yeah.
do to thank you all for listening. So, Tauri, take it away.
All right, we've got 2 today. So, Gloom13 says, Dark matter, it matters. When a show like this comes across my radar, it's often too late. But not this time. It's a great show with a family of characters you can care about with a future that bears familiarity mixed with great intrigue. The After Show podcast is a fun way to review and spectate with the hosts who seem to really enjoy doing what they do. That's true.
That's true.
I hope this is only the beginning of more greatness to come. It's also awesome that one of the show's creators tweets in little bits of information and speculation. It really makes you feel like you're getting in on the ground level. Give it a listen and watch the show. P.S. I humbly request to be crew number 13.
Oh, man, I would have picked that number 2. Beat me to it.
Nice.
Good job, Gloom.
And Lanavis says, my favorite words. Also, that was a 5-star, and this is a 5-star.
Yay!
He says, or she says, Tauri was right! My favorite words! Tauri was right!
That's
Never
fantastic.
leave another comment.
It looks like Devon was sent to jail over withdrawal influenced malpractice.
Oh, we will talk about that.
Yo, you will.
We will.
They're also sad that Chris Holden Reed and Zoe Palmer, Zoe Palmer didn't interact this episode. They hope they meet in the future, and that it features Anna Silk.
Anna Silk,
Anna Silk.
who was the lead. She played Bo Dennis on Lost Girl.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And as always, we hosts are the best AfterBuzz has to offer.
Aw, thanks.
Bam, 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 bam. Great reviews. We love you.
Okay, calm down, both of you.
No.
Chief Inspector Mirror of the Galactic Authority. Yeah?
Yes,
Chris?
that's exactly how it's said.
Okay, Chris, open your mouth and enunciate your words. We watched this episode and we went, what is his name? We know he's a chief inspector. We know he's of the Galactic Authority. And we know he starts with a k sound.
I'd like to imagine that that's very telling of the character in that, like, he's really into titles and he came from, like, really humble beginnings. So his name doesn't matter, but what he's accomplished has. So he's like, I'm Chief Inspector of the Galactic Authority.
Galactic Authority?
Yep, Authority.
Absolutely.
My, like, bad word
I'll take
started
it.
bleeding
I will
in.
absolutely take it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So I kept referring to him as Dyson from Lost Girl. So Dyson makes his appearance. He announced that he was going to be on the show in London on a panel that you can watch on youtube.com/Yael Tygiel. I know my name. Yeah, he announced that he was going to be on the show. He announced that he was going to be Chief Inspector of the Galactic Authority. He said it there too, and I
Just
went,
like
who? He will say his name more and more, from what I understand.
I hope so.
But we meet him, and he's so Dyson. Dyson was a cop on Lost Girl. He's a cop here. He's got to do the right thing there. He's got to do the right thing here. Next, he's a werewolf, guys. I believe he's going to be a werewolf.
Just like Devon was gonna be, but they repurposed the character for this. I'm on to you, Malozzi.
I heard.
No?
Wrong.
Okay.
There's no wrong predictions, Yael.
I really like Kirkin. I really, really like him a lot.
Chief Inspector of the
Galactic Authority, Kirkin. I feel like he is basically that really classic. He's like Chauvelin from Les Mis. He's like, or Chauvelin from Scarlet Pimpernel, Javert from Les Mis. He's like all those French cops from those French things who just believe in following the law to the letter, and they kind of don't allow the room for the gray areas. And I think that just like those stories, this is going to be the story of Kirkin finding out that there are a lot of gray areas in the law, and that good people are forced to do bad things. That conversation with him and Rio, who I like to refer to as Rio, actually, because I feel like his personality from before and now are the most meshed, whereas everyone else has become their number.
Great.
Okay, fine. You don't have to agree.
Frio.
Frio.
I'll take Frio.
Frio.
Interesting. You were saying something really great that I think you should share.
Why, thank you.
Let's turn it to you, Tom. You have good opinions.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah. It's your last bit. No. I was saying that I'm going to preface this by saying I really like Dyson.
Yes.
And I really like this character. I was really hoping, because I think I had said after the first episode that I was really sad that they killed Lola, whose character name I do not remember, but she was the chief. She was also the inspector.
She was the Galactic Authority who slapped 5.
Yes. So I wish that she wasn't such a meanie, and that she hadn't died in the first episode of the season, so that the role that Dyson is taking on could have been her, and her whole arc could have been this, as Andrew said, this Javert type thing, who she was slighted, she's trying to get the truth, and she's trying to bring these guys to justice, and so having her follow them this whole time would have been really interesting to me.
Yeah.
I know that essentially Dyson will be following the same trajectory, and he gets a fresh introduction, having not slapped a child.
Minor detail.
But I think that just would have been really interesting for me.
Well, so I agree with you that we have this, he's the do the right thing, Inspector of the Galactic Authority. But that's what 6 was when he was Griffin of the Galactic Authority, right? So, like, we had these, I feel like everyone in the Galactic Authority wants to do the right thing, and then hears what's happening above them and learns that it's super shady. It's like they're all like, no, I really think this is the right way to do things. I am a cop and I follow the letter of the law. And then they realize that the entire, all the captains of the cops are all mafia guys, right? Like, that's what's happening, is that everyone becomes a cop because they want to do the right thing. but they're working under the criminals. And that's kind of what 4 says when he's pinned under that rock, which I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we can have a 127 hours moment here? Like, this is going to be awesome.
That would be such a great sequence because he works out so much. Seeing him try to like figure out how to be a cool ninja guy while without legs.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I would have been,
Yeah.
He just puts swords as
Yeah.
his
As
legs.
legs.
That's who I am now.
yeah, but he was pinned under those rocks and then walked out of there just fine.
Right. Yeah, he also woke up pinned and was like, "Oh, I'm awake. I'm pinned. Oh my gosh.
no, how do I get
I
out?"
had no idea that there are rocks crushing half
Right.
my body."
Yeah. The moment though when we see Dyson with 4 and they're surrounded by our team and Nyx is there and that was such a bomb like scene and sequence where they were when Dyson was like, but there we no 3 says I
Yeah.
was like, I don't go. 3 says well, we'll just kill him if we have to.
Well, if you open fire, you
Yeah.
risk killing your friend. He's like, he's probably fine with that.
Yeah, and he
He's
was like,
I am
it's a
fine
better
with
death.
that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
yes, Raza crew. Boom. So good.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Me too.
That was a great sequence.
I think it's so interesting. Sorry, I'm
No,
gonna for like
This-
a second.
Fine.
With my terrible opinions.
How dare you?
So I really like Kirkin. I'm going to reiterate that, and I think Kirkin and Rio have a really interesting relationship because I'm calling him Rio. I'm
Are
sorry.
you shipping this?
Yes. I
Creo.
ship Creo.
No.
Yes.
Kierkyo.
Kirkyo. Kirkyo.
Also,
why-
while we're
Yes.
saying it, because
Well, we're
everyone
saying
else is shipping as well. Some people are saying Kier 4, and then there's also Kier for life.
Forkin.
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 Losey says
Joseph
Forkin.
Malozzi,
Forkin.
you were a genius.
Assy Queen says Kier 4.
Forkin.
Forkin.
Forkin. So I love Forkin.
I also
I
like Forkin.
love Forkin.
Yeah.
So Forkin is great. I love Forkin for a number of reasons. He introduces the emergency beacon, which is super powerful,
Yeah.
which I think is going to come back and probably important.
Okay.
But really, there's that moment where he just they have that conversation, and I think, and it's about the gray area. And I don't want to like reiterate myself too much, but I feel like that moment at the end where he's like, "Oh, you think you're a man of honor when he's trapped, but you're not." And he's like, well, I absolutely am. I'm doing the best. I'm surviving. The fact that he doesn't shoot him when he gets his gun back,
Yeah.
I think that is like, he is absolutely a man of honor. He could have murdered you and all of your friends, and probably has, like, before with...
Well, what's interesting is that we know that Rio is a man of honor, that he didn't actually kill the Emperor,
Right.
that he is a good guy until he joins the Raza and they go criming together. But then 4 is 4, and he never killed anybody, and he's a good guy. And so when he woke up, I mean,
Yes.
so like they're good, but Rio and 4 are good guys, which is why now the idea of Forkin together, where they're all just good guys. Oh, I love that.
They're the best guys.
But that I want to say is, speaking of Galactic Authority, I believe, and I said this, I believe that Anders is still alive. And I really hope that we get to see him again. Maybe he could assist Kirkin and teach him how to say his name properly. Because we know Anders' name. We knew that from the beginning.
It's
Right.
easy. It's just like Andrew.
Calm down.
Okay. No, but I really hope he's alive too. I think that it would be way more interesting to have people who know these guys from the past.
Yeah.
We keep killing everyone who knows these people from the past.
Right.
They have a very short shelf life. Anyone who's known these people.
Yeah, well, they're criminals.
Well, Chief Inspector Kirkin of the Galactic Authority did just lose his partner.
Right.
So I think that this would be a good opportunity for this guy to jump in and be like, I've hunted them before. I know
And
all
I
about
was
Six."
friends with 6,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
We're partners.
Okay, we still have so many more people to talk about. Let's talk about Devon real quick.
Okay.
I still don't trust him, and I refuse to believe that we get it. He's got an addiction to drugs, and he may or may not have killed someone on the surgery table. Great. I still don't believe that's why he's in jail and what's wrong with him. I believe there's so much more to him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's something else. There has to be.
No, I just think he's a smarmy addict. Like, I think that's the extent of... And I think that's all that I want from him. In that, like, as I've said it 100 times, that he's, like, now our one proxy. And that he's supposed to be a relatively good guy, trying to have people do good things, and he's not like a criminal type.
Fine.
You don't have to agree with me. He sure doesn't.
I don't like Devon. I don't like Devon at all.
Thank you.
I wrote down several times, Devon, STFU. The first time he did it is when he's like, I didn't work on you for nothing. Like, didn't work reviving and saving you.
What kind of doctor are you, Devon?
What kind of doctor says that kind of stuff? You are a bad guy. Like, oh, I shouldn't have even saved your life. He says it again. He's like, where is it?
I don't know, where is it? Organize your notes.
He's like, I took all the trouble to save you. He's like, stop it, Devon.
Yeah, shut up, Devon.
Crap out.
Look, he didn't have to, guys.
Oh,
that would be like
Really? Wait,
no,
he's
no,
on
he
that
has to.
ship. He
Yeah.
has to.
But like,
A member of the crew.
Or they would space him.
Yeah.
right? But like, he could have just botched
And
it
no
and been
one
like,
would
well,
care.
who?
Yeah.
But like,
He
the whole
could've.
thing is, it's like if you had cooked a big giant Thanksgiving dinner. You went through all the effort,
Yeah.
and then someone was just like, boom, space lock, airlock. Those words.
Space air.
Yeah. No one ate it.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else about Devon?
I would agree with Tari's assessment that that's all you want from Devon, to be this addict. And I kind of agree that I kind of want him to be a little, because I don't think he's as good as you think he is. I worry about how shady he is and how willing he would be to sell out the crew for his own gain. Because obviously all of the crew are named like wanted people.
Yeah.
Probably have bounties. Probably are like a big deal. Like,
Right.
They say they're the enemies of the corporations.
They also
want
say
us dead.
they can't. That's why Kiva has to leave the ship for them, is they can't go out.
Yeah, they can't put their faces out
Yeah.
there. Now and they just broke out of the most difficult to break out of jail in the galaxy. So they are the most wanted people in the galaxy right now. So I feel like, yeah, it's just it's just frustrating that Devon is this weird. I feel like he's just such like a little weasel. He's not really a part of our crew. I don't know. He has no allegiances.
But he
has no allegiances.
also, as an addict, would sell them out for drugs.
For drugs.
But speaking of people who want to be part of the crew, Nyx wants to go down to the planet with them, and she says, your fight is my fight. I'm telling you, Nyx is up to no good. I don't know what she's doing, but I don't trust her.
I actually feel I have a similar sense of dread, but it's good dread, if that makes any sense. Because she's gonna bring, she's like, yeah, I fight your fights and you fight my fights, right? That's how it works. And it's like, oh, you were bringing us to a fight, but it's also like she's an amazing asset to the team. Like, she is the most OP like soldier, fighter, shooter person with precognitive spidey senses. Like, it's amazing.
I don't trust her.
I feel
With
like
her
she's
super hearing,
Yeah.
I don't trust her.
I feel like she's something that we don't know yet, maybe a different race. Like, she seems like Wonder Woman or like Hawk Girl or something. She's basically an alien with powers.
I think there are a lot of predictions that she is the same thing as Tu.
Could be. I would agree
Especially with her
that.
super hearing.
Yeah. I want to say she seems like different though, because Tu's never kind of displayed like the precognitive. Like, she has a little bit of spidey sense, but it's not quite the same, because she still like gets attacked and shot and stuff.
But I think that that's because Tu doesn't remember her training. That's my theory, is that Nyx remembers everything.
Yeah. Madison Badgers thinks that Nyx was made by Wesley Crusher.
I don't know what that means.
Dr. Will Wheaton.
Yes.
Oh.
Dr. Will Wheaton's character. Okay, before we move on to predictions, one more ship that we need to talk about is 6 and 3, which I called 9, and Molosi corrected me with Thrix. My
He's
mistake.
the king of names.
Yes.
It's his show.
Yeah. Good job, Melissa.
I still like 9, but whatever. That moment when 3 is like, nothing like a fight to get your appetite, and he goes in and he sees 6 eating there, and he goes, I lost my appetite. That look that they gave each other, that was I want you.
That little smile on Six's face when he enters the room too, he's just like, what's up, man?
Yeah.
It's been a second.
Absolutely
He's
shipping
so
that.
Yeah.
Shipping that with Kiva. I don't know. Molosi, put those 3 names together for me. Because that would be great. She's a service android. I mean, she's not, but she could be. I'm sure there's an upgrade for that.
Is there?
Yeah, we can bring in Ruby Rose's torso. It'll be great.
Just her torso.
Just
Okay.
so we're aware, my head this went somewhere else.
Yeah. That,
Go on.
Going down. No,
Let me
I
dig-
got nothing.
Dig that off.
Oh, man.
Yeah, okay. Well, we also get that info from 6 that that 1 was worried about his father's company, so it might be all that. With the Jace Corso thing, Corso's dead. one is dead. Life is hard. All
Okay.
right. Should we move into predictions?
I have one more thing I want to talk about
Yes.
real quick.
Okay.
The facility where Kiva gets locked up real quick, or like processed or whatever,
Yeah.
it has no cameras,
Right.
has one guy, and has like a specific hacking slot in the computer.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is the hacking slot. Make sure it's covered at all times, because if it's uncovered, people can hack it real easy.
But it's also the hacking slot on the other side of the computer.
Yeah, it's on the service side.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wrote down there are no cameras. She's not cuffed. He leaves her alone in the room to get coffee. He's like, "Oh, are you gonna get me coffee?" He's like, "Why not? Why not? Do your job, dude. Like you've ruined."
That's why they went to that
You should
service
be fired.
station.
Well, yeah, they knew it was notoriously bad.
Yeah, I just wish it would have been worse if it was supposed to be notoriously bad. Like something would have broken or something, or like the computer's too old to hack. It's just a typewriter.
I'd like to imagine that we're gonna jump like 2 months, come back to that station, and that one guard is still gonna have his shirt ripped.
I loved
I
him.
loved that.
He was so cute. I called him Patient Cop. And then the second cop was endlessly patient cop. Because that guy was too patient.
What, with the 2 sugars? I said
Yeah.
no sugar.
And he was like, I'll get you more coffee. No, you won't. She is someone who just got processed for assaulting an officer. Get her out of there.
Any other thoughts?
No.
It's not for the chat?
No.
Okay, we're heading into predictions! I assume you all saw the promo.
AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yes.
Great.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so in the promo, it's Nyx's past! Yay! It's the Nyx episode.
Finally!
We meet Nyx's brother, or Bricks. Nope, okay.
I like it.
Thanks.
Bricks.
He's in maybe a stasis pod and waking up from it. And then somebody in some Gallifreyan robes says, the Raza crew's next course of action has been determined. Okay, Time Lords, calm down. But Nyx, next week is all about Nyx. I'm telling you, we're gonna feel
Nyx
sorry for her. Nice.
If you're watching, I love you.
Hey, did you want to say something?
Oh, calm down. Tell her that you love her.
I love you.
Okay. Now I lost it, guys. I'm supposed to be leading
Nyx.
the
We're
show.
talking
Yeah.
Nyx.
Next
And
time.
How wonderful she
Next
is.
time.
Next time.
Next time.
So I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to hear what her story is and get her past, and Tu and her gonna work together, and finally we're gonna get a Twix moment.
Twix.
If we're real lucky, we're gonna get a Twix kiss. If we're extra lucky, we're gonna get a Twix more than kiss.
Oh.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
Twix blessing.
Yeah, but I think that what's going to happen is now we're going to trust her and be like, here's what it was. Here's the secret she's been hiding. And I'm still not going to trust her at the end of the episode because that's misleading. That's how we ended up with the 6th problem last season, is that we trusted him and we loved him. And then Roger betrayed us all.
But
Yes.
I still trust Roger. Anyway, I love him. I love him too. I love all you guys. I'm
Girl.
really excited.
Girl.
So I was really excited. Yeah. So the thing that says, oh, the Raza's next course has been determined. Psychic powers, maybe. Maybe they hit like totally. What else can she do? Because does she have the Force, basically?
No, I think that's totally going to be they're pawns. We've been playing them, and now we know where we're sending them. That's
So you
my-
think she's an undercover for a different person
Yes.
that's just trying to mold them?
Yeah, she's evil.
No.
I mean, she's so good looking, but
I mean,
so evil.
No, she's Hawk Girl. She's like here. She's like, you weird aliens are pretty cool, but let's fight wars together. That's the only way. That's the only way I know.
I'd like to imagine that they're actually like people who are trying to be more android-like, in that they have a probability ability. So essentially, it's like on an episode of Fringe where a character was able to essentially suss out all the probable outcomes of a decision in an instant and then make moves that could affect it down the line. And I imagine it's going to be something like that.
Fun fact, that actor went on to be on Winona Earp season 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, I watched the whole season. Went, why do I know his face? Fringe.
IMDb. All right.
I like that. I like that idea. I also I like the idea of like a chip in people's brains,
like a neural implant of some kind.
right?
where
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know that we killed Corso, and one. But I feel like we could easily, I mean, we're in the sci-fi world, and I feel like we could easily bring back Corso next season at some point for like, he now has a chip, he's part robot, whatever.
Right. Like they rebuild him and
Yeah.
like and put his consciousness into a robot or something.
And then we get answers.
The other part of me that's in denial is like, what if Derek Moss hired Jace Corso to fake kill him so he could do something on his own? Because he says he was worried about the CEO.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe we write Derek off for being kind of like a rich kid, a spoiled rich kid who doesn't know anything about the world. But what if, just throwing it out there, maybe he's still alive. And he's kind of put this into motion to
And he
fake
has
his
a
death.
new face now.
Yeah. I mean, because he has already done it once.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look like it's something you want to add.
Because he says, Traugot didn't hire me. What if it was Moss?
I like that prediction a lot.
Cool.
I have a separate prediction.
Okay.
Based on Roy Becca's behavior this time, I'm predicting that we're gonna find out that this merry band of upgraded androids are actually created by Wesley Crusher, Will Wheaton.
Dr. Will Wheaton.
In that, like, he's trying to create, or at least seed in androids that can pass as humans, which was basically what he was trying to do with 2. And so now he's like trying to make it more mobile and something that he can do. He can spread a lot faster.
I love it.
So I think that that's going to be a thing. And so she's going to end up being on the wrong side.
Oh, I love that idea. Especially because if that is his plan, but also he's trying to find 2, he could have orchestrated this thing with
Nix.
Victor to give the thing to
Roy Becca.
to
Roy.
Anne
Yes, got it.
to make her Kiva.
Yeah.
And now is like a beacon, like the super strong beacon.
Emergency
Tying this
beak.
all together.
Nice.
Something I do.
So we basically figured out the whole thing.
And Nyx is
right.
evil.
Yes.
Move on to
So is
season
Devon.
3.
Related really quickly.
Sure.
Everyone in the chat was essentially describing the ability to eat and poop that the android has to have in order to process the stuff that she was eating and drinking.
Yeah, so she drank so much, right? Like, she had
Mm-hmm.
coffee, she had a shot.
Yeah.
Of whiskey.
She was consuming liquids. Those have to come out.
Yeah.
I would like to point out
Yeah.
that Bender from Futurama puts things inside of him, and then, boop, I'm a robot. I open this up, take it out later. I don't know.
But she
you
was
guys.
consuming liquids.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, to me,
There's a pouch in there or something.
so I don't know how her, like, form is formed, but I was like, you're just going to get all of your, like, insides
Stuff.
wet, like, and with alcohol, like, and with coffee. Those are not. It's
so
like
bad for your
Yeah, it's
circuitry.
like putting Diet Coke in your body. That's gonna clean you out.
Maybe like the nanites form like an esophagus and his stomach, and they're like, oh, you can't see my hands.
And it just leaks out.
Yeah. I
just think
it
she
comes
has
out
like
every
a-
orifice.
like a vacuum bag inside, you know? Like, I'm just going to hold this, and then she'll take it out later and empty it.
But excellent points, everybody.
Yes, very.
'Cause that also crossed my mind.
Mechanics.
Specifically that it was liquids.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
very concerned. Also, is she going to continue to eat and drink with them now that she's staying in Kiva form?
Does it give her pleasure the same way that fighting does? Maybe?
See, she needs to become a service bot. I'm telling you.
I mean, it seems like she wants to be a warrior bot.
Yeah, but those also need to find out all the ways to make endorphins.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's yet to discover something.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah.
find it.
I think she knows.
Discovery's coming, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something I feel like there's something you wanted to read out.
No,
To be-
Malozzi said that it eventually gets processed out, and then that there's more to come.
Yay! Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We clearly love the show. You can keep up with us throughout the week. Andrew, where are you everywhere?
I'm everywhere on the Twitter at Andrew Mena or on Instagram at the Andrew Mena. And I'll be talking tomorrow about Sharknado 4 on AfterBuzz, or Popcorn Talk, actually. There's an AfterBuzz affiliate, so please tune in and let's
Yay.
chat and enjoy more sci-fi.
Yeah. And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY. That's on Instagram and on Twitter. You can also find us, Tauri and Andrew, the Puffy Vest Brothers, at Comedy Sports on August 18th at 10 o'clock. We're going to be in a dual competition.
Yay.
Come see us if you're in the LA area and vote for us.
Also, Puffy Vest Brothers is online.
Yes,
People can find...
at the Puffy Vest Bros.
Yeah. Yay! You guys can keep up with me all week long at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I also have a podcast. It is free. It is on iTunes, and sometimes it is filthy, but sometimes it's not. So check it out. Intimate Interrogations. Did I say what it was called?
No, you did not.
I did not.
Just did.
Intimate Interrogations. And we'll see you next week for more Dark Matter. Bye!
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.